Auburn Blitz is now on the air, your daily look into what's happening in Auburn athletics. With your host, Andy Graham, Brett Pritchard, Randy Lee, War Eagle.
Hello, everybody. Welcome into the Auburn Blitz here on this Tuesday. Brett and Randy here with you for your lunch hour, and we're glad that you've joined us wherever it is that you're tuning us in, whether it be Charter Channel 701, YouTube, or Facebook. You can call us today, 256-234-6221, for all of you that like to do that. Our program brought to you by Russell Dewitt Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensagreen. For air that's cool and clean, call on Sensagreen. Randy, good to see you here. We're on the podcast this morning, kind of got some things started, talking about Coach Oliver passing away, and that's where we'll start here as well. You and I both knew him pretty well, know his son very well, and, so our thoughts and prayers go out to their whole family, and condolences there. But just a great man that had, that impacted both universities here in the state, Alabama and Auburn, and we can go back through the history and all. But, retired to this area, so we saw him quite a bit, and we're able to talk to him. And a treasure for the state of Alabama, passes on.
Well, I said it earlier this morning, and thanks to all of you out there that continue to find our podcast, by the way, at Auburn Blitz on YouTube and all of our other social media outlets. But I said it this morning, we're lucky to live in the area that we're in. Yeah. Lake Martin seems to find a lot of great individuals whenever they reach retirement age. They're looking for a place to end up and to kind of settle down, and we've been very lucky that Lake Martin has created this beautiful spot that we call home. Right. And Bill Oliver was one that chose that many moons ago, and had the good opportunity to be around him a whole bunch over the last 20 plus years. Right. And, some of the best stories that I have are listening to his stories. We've been in situations where you and I have been with just the three of us, and he has told the 92-11 across the line of scrimmage story and how that defensive scheme brought him a national championship at Alabama. And then the next time I'd see him, he'd tell the same story. And I'd kind of tee him up. Those of you that knew Coach Oliver knew that he was an unbelievable storyteller. Very. And he could take the smallest of stories and build them into something that you didn't want to walk away from, and that's a gift, by the way. Yeah. Right there, to be able to ingratiate yourself with just about anybody that's around you, and he had that unique ability to see who you and I and others that would consider just average Joes out there, and he didn't care if you were an average Joe. He never gave you the sense that he cared if you were the top of the totem pole or at the bottom. He had this unique way of making himself feel like he was right in there with you, did he?
No doubt about it. I hate to stop you there. Programming note in the studio, I don't think we're streaming. So help us out there, brother. we need to be on Facebook and YouTube for everybody out there. So maybe a little technical difficulty there. But no, to go back to what you're saying, I think, that's what made him so approachable, and he liked to go when the old town store was down there in our town. Used to go hang out there and drink coffee, and I know he found his way to some other places. So just a great person that liked to share his past experiences, and then not just talk about him, but he'd ask you about what you got going on and stuff like that. But his career started when he played at Alabama from 59 to 61, and then his coaching career started in high school up around Guntersville, and then Shug Jordan hired him away and hired an Alabama guy to come to Auburn for 4 years, and coached from at Auburn from 66 to 70, coached defensive backs, and then went to Alabama during an unbelievable stretch in the 70s and did the same thing, coached DBs there from 71 to 79, took a head coaching job at Chattanooga. and was there for 3 years, actually 4, and then went to Memphis, the Memphis Showboats as the defensive coordinator, then to Clemson, and then back to Alabama from 90 basically to 95, and then came to Auburn 96 through 98 and was the interim head coach there for the last part of his career, and thought he was going to be maybe given an opportunity to be the head coach, and was not. So ended his career there, and had been retired ever since.
Well, you were involved within the athletic program department during that stretch, and you told a great story on that this morning. But there was a lot of us, me included, that hoped that he got that head coaching job. I thought it was his turn to get the head coaching job. It's not that I'm knocking Tommy Tuberville. I mean, he had a great run at Auburn, and you love Coach Tuberville, and you and him become really good friends, so that wouldn't have happened without if Bill Oliver would have gotten it and had success. So, you kind of take it and run with it. But did really a little bit surprised that ended up his coaching career, because I'm sure he was reaching the age, but he was also one of those individuals that had the personality that felt like, he was brought up a lot of times for Steve Spurrier to be the defensive coordinator under him and some of his stops, but never moved on. And I'm, sitting here in the Lake Martin region thinking that maybe a lot of that had to do with this community. And a lot of that had to do with the friends that he had around here and the questioning, how much do you continue to go chase that rabbit, or are you happy with what you got? And I always felt, seeing him even out at grocery stores and just out in public, that he loved this place.
Right.
That this was home for him, and a lot of people around him embraced him in this location. And so can't say enough good things about Bill Oliver. Brad, our thoughts and prayers are with you and the family, everybody out there. Brad's one that has given back. He had no ties. He didn't play ball here. He didn't grow up here.
Right.
But how often are we at fundraising events in our local community here? Is Brad Oliver involved?
Oh, yeah.
Just about all the time. And so that tells you what type of family this is, and it tells you how much they embrace the local Lake Martin community. And, again, can't say enough good things about Bill Oliver, and I think that goes both ways, Auburn and Alabama.
Oh, yeah.
people.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, I said it this morning on the podcast to you. I said it's very rare when a guy crosses over the line in this state that he's welcomed back to the other side. And he played at Alabama, and he started coaching at Auburn. And I read a little bit about what Philip Marshall wrote on 24/7 today, and said he always had a soft place for Auburn in his heart because his daddy was an Auburn fan. So, I think that's why he really wanted the opportunity to be the head coach at Auburn, and cherished his time while he was at Auburn. Had spent a couple of stints there, and then obviously had a few stints at Alabama as well. So, yeah, just again a guy that everybody embraced. Didn't matter which side of the fence you were on, and so. Don't get that very often in a rivalry like this when, again, somebody steps over the line and goes in the other direction. They're usually kind of shunned by the other group. But he crossed it a couple times, and he made it work. And he was a really good coach for both places. And, I think, as you mentioned just a minute ago, the staple of his defense and really maybe the highlight of his career was putting Alabama on the map in '92 there after they had gone such a long time without a national championship. And it was defensive. It was a defensive national championship. They were facing a highly talented, daunting offense from Miami by Gino Torretta. And, I don't know what the point spread was. What was it? Pretty big, wasn't it?
2 scores.
Yeah.
I don't know if it ended up being 14 points. That may have been high. Luke, you'd have to help us out there. But I bet it was
somewhere around there.
Yeah, it was double digits. And
but Antonio Langham and George Teague making those plays, and that picture, was cemented in Alabama history, and he was the reason, man. I mean, their defense pretty much ruled the roost all year, and there were several games. If the defense hadn't have done what they did and scored defensive touchdowns, they would have probably lost 2 or 3 games that year. So, I know that year Auburn took a team over there to Birmingham, and we lost the game 17-0, but it was pretty close at half. And, defense won that game. Alabama was able to scratch out 10 points offensively, but they had a pick six in that game to score one of their touchdowns. So, really, that was the theme of their team that whole year, finding ways to score defensive touchdowns and
defensive ends.
Yeah, Copeland and Curry. I mean, just a vaunting, just a very ahead of its time type defense. It was good in all three levels: defensive line, linebackers, and in the secondary was one of the best. So, but again, found his way back to Auburn to finish his career and coached under Terry Bowden. I don't think it's any secret the two didn't really like each other. I think Terry Bowden needed Bill Oliver more than Bill Oliver needed Terry Bowden. Terry Bowden's offenses were really good at Auburn. Couldn't figure out how to stop anybody, and he brought Bill Oliver in to help on that side of things. But they made that work, for a while, and then Terry Bowden exits and he gets the interim job. And again, part of me would have liked to have seen him take that job or be given that job full time, but it didn't happen. So, all right, up against the first break of the show, got some breaking news when we come back basketball wise. Stay tuned, more to come right after this.
Hi, this is Brian Bice with Bice Motors. With our all-star lineup of Dodge trucks, Jeep, SUVs, and Chrysler cars, we offer the area team dedicated to making your next vehicle purchase a positive experience. Our sales team offers competitive pricing, and we back up all sales with a service department second to none. Bice Motors also offers the area's best selection of pre-owned vehicles. Visit Bice Motors at 2133 Cherokee Road in Alexander City.
Guaranteed lowest price. Buy it at Bice Motors.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
Adams Motorsports of Montgomery knows it's the best time to ride. Right now, get the best deals on all of our Suzuki and Kawasaki street bikes, side-by-sides, four-wheelers, and dirt bikes. Adams Motorsports has it all, and our inventory is vast. Get out there, ride the streets and trails, and let Adams Motorsports make your pleasure our business. With family customer service and service after the sale. It's time to ride, so come see us on Eastern Boulevard in Montgomery or online at adamsmotorsports.com.
Are you looking for a great deal on a powerful new Chevrolet or GMC full-size truck? Check out the Chevy Silverado and GMC Sierras side by side at Glenn Smith in Opelika. Take your choice of new Chevrolet and GMC 1500 trucks discounted up to $12,000 off. Chevy and GMC heavy-duty trucks discounted up to $7,000 off. Make the savings drive to Glenn Smith Chevrolet GMC in Opelika, Alabama. Get ready to smile.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz, brought to you by Russell Do It Center and Building Supply Stores, J.A. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sensa Green. Again, breaking news, Auburn has landed transfer big man Keyshawn Murphy from Mississippi State, and he averaged a little under 12 points a game, 7.5 boards a game in SEC play. Massive pickup there for Auburn. He comes back home from Birmingham, played at Ramsey, and then comes back over after being at Mississippi State. So glad to have him back in the state of Alabama, and glad to have him at Auburn.
Yeah, thrilled, because I know that there are probably a handful of other programs that are equal to us that needed a big man.
Right.
And he's one that can extend the court. He's an extremely athletic big, 6'10". Played for one of our top high schools here in the state of Alabama for Denton Johnson over at Ramsey High School, Brett. They played it the right way. He was coached the right way. He was held to a standard there in the city of Birmingham that I think is important. You know, there are just some programs that if you get a kid from there, you're not necessarily worried about the transition when they go to a major college. And right. Ramsey's one of those, Brett. We've been doing this 20-plus years. I can name you the 10 or 12 programs that I'd love to get somebody from. Ramsey's one of them, isn't it? And so this is a great get for Auburn, and we need one more big, but we got one of them. We got one of them under our belt.
Yeah, and we've got a couple more options out there. The kid from Florida State had a big guy in from JUCO yesterday that we'll talk about a little bit more. but the bottom line is this was a massive pickup. Very good player, man, from Mississippi State. I thought Chris Jans, I like Chris Jans as a coach. I think Mississippi State had a pretty formidable program this year. It's always a team you don't want to play. And, but he was a big part of what their success was this year. And so glad to have him coming over, man. And, again, won't be the last piece to the puzzle for this Auburn team. There's still several more to go. I mean, you look at what we've got with Caden Magwood coming in and on the guard side and some of the other pieces. I mean, you lose Denver Jones and you lose Miles Kelly. You're going to have to do some work there because there is a possibility Tahad Pettiford does not come back. That's still out there. I mean, he maintained his draft his college eligibility, even though he got into the draft. You could lose your three guards. And so, this is what the norm is in college basketball. You just better be prepared. 1 year to the next, you could put a whole new team out on the floor.
Well, I sound like a broken record, but when you're dealing with the transfer portal and NIL, maybe now more than ever, you've got to have a lot of trust that your coaching, your head coach and the coaching staff can piecemeal a squad together to stay up to the standard that you've created. And I've got more confidence in Bruce Pearl than anybody in the country to be able to do that, to go out there, build relationships, find a way to make the NIL money work. So if we lost Tahad, it'd be a major loss, but I've got so much confidence in Bruce Pearl that he'll go out there and find a piece to plug and play. Maybe not to that level, but good enough level to keep us at a very highly competitive team. And everybody's got to live within realistic expectations going into this year. I mean, that was an Auburn team that was an SEC champion regular season and could possibly be the toughest regular season grouping of teams in the nation's history, when you've got 14 teams make the tournament and 7 make the Sweet 16 and then a couple make the Final Four. I mean, it's an amazing year. And then Auburn makes the Final Four, and they got 10 seniors now. This JUCO deal may make that only be 8 or 9 seniors. We'll see how all of that plays out. But even with that, it's a lot to replace. So you may not be all the way to the standard that you had this year, but there's no question in my mind Bruce Pearl's going to put a quality product out there on the court.
Absolutely. I mean, again, he gives you no reason to believe otherwise, because he's been able to continue to build this program and fill in the holes and put the pieces together wherever he needs to. You know, when you lose a Jabari Smith and a Walker Kessler and those guys, and you want your program to be a program where you're rolling top-ranked recruits through and top-ranked players through. And, you know, Auburn's sending more players to the NBA now than they ever have in your lifetime, just in the last 6 to 7 years. So that's not going to stop anytime soon. I think Janai Broome will be an NBA guy. Now, I don't know to what extent. He could be a European player as well, or somewhere overseas. But, you know, that's the crazy thing about this team, is that it wasn't star-studded, loaded with a bunch of sure enough first-rounders. Todd Pettiford obviously has an opportunity as a freshman to be one of those. But this team, with age and experience, got it done through the transfer portal. I mean, all of these guys, you and I talked about it ad nauseum. Majority of the guys that got most of the playing time this year were guys that came in the transfer portal. So
we've done it the right way. You know, you go and you find a Chaney Johnson, and you find somebody that works as hard as he did, and then you try to keep some mainstays around. You know, the big game, the bigs is the big question mark, and that's saying, you know, a lot of bigs in one little statement right there. But Brett, in college basketball right now, if you don't have 2, maybe 3 guys that are versatile and are 6'10 plus, I mean, you go below 6'10, you're going to be giving up a lot of size. You know, even as big as we were this year, I think what finally caught us there in that national championship games, the 2 or 3-headed monster down in the post for Florida, or excuse me, in the Final Four.
Yeah.
Those 2 or 3 guys down in the post, and their length and their ability to pull you out, and whether you, even if they're not the one scoring the basketball.
Right.
They give you so many problems that you don't see night in and night out from an offensive standpoint with you matched up with them defensively. They're rim protectors.
Right.
And I have got a sense the last 3 or 4 years we've gone more big than we have over the last 20 before that. And if you don't go and get a Keyshawn Murphy and 1 or 2 more 6'10 plus, you're going to match up with somebody that's going to expose you.
Yeah, and it takes a well-rounded team to win a national championship. Now, you can't just have inside game and no outside game. You can't just have outside game and no inside game. You got to have a combination of both, because one of them isn't going to work on a particular night.
That's right.
So you got to be able to rely on the other to get you through. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit Sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
This is Kathy Holmes with Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Jeff Verner and I opened in East Montgomery 25 years ago and have become the premier butcher shop, wine retailer, and caterer in the River region. We are excited to invite you to our newest location at 2459 East Glen Avenue in Auburn, Opelika. We want to become your one-stop shop for the freshest cuts of meat in town, grab-and-go casseroles, gift items, and the best wine selection in the area. Think of us when catering your next event. Check us out online at steaksandwine.com for daily lunch specials and details on upcoming wine tastings and fun events.
Presley Appliance and Furniture, located on Cherokee Road in Alexander City, is locally owned and operated with over 35 years of experience in the appliance and furniture business. Specializing in Amana, Whirlpool, KitchenAid, and Ashley Furniture, Presley Appliance services what they sell and will make sure you receive top-notch customer service. Call them today at 256-329-9762 or drop by to see them on Cherokee Road in Alexander City. Presley Appliance and Furniture, where they service what they sell.
Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply is your headquarters for all the brands contractors know best. We're your local home improvement store with 9 convenient locations throughout Central Alabama. We have a huge selection of Weber and Traeger, Pelican coolers, Milwaukee and DeWalt tools, and other top brands. No matter the project, we have you covered with our high-quality lumber and building supplies. From do-it-yourselfers to seasoned pros, Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply has what you need to get the job done.
There's only one option for top-of-the-line aftermarket upgrades on your vehicle, and that's Frontline Outfitters. We offer quality parts, lift kits, custom wheels and tires, bed covers, step bars, and toolboxes that are installed by trained and skilled professionals, to custom powder coating with hundreds of colors and finishes, to the highest quality film for window tinting using state-of-the-art film cutting technology. Call Frontline Outfitters at 256-409-8100. Don't be in the back of the line. Put your vehicle at the front with Frontline Outfitters.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Looking for the perfect spot to unwind? Welcome to Bunkers. Our friendly staff and vibrant atmosphere make Bunkers the ultimate hangout space for all ages. With 6 state-of-the-art golf simulator stations, you can play around with friends no matter the weather. Enjoy mouth-watering food and a wide variety of handcrafted mixed drinks. With our attached parking deck, access is always hassle-free. Make your next night out unforgettable at Bunkers.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
Chick-fil-A is always the best option when you're on the go, but they are also great when it comes to planning your next event, from tailgating to birthday parties to weddings. Call Chick-fil-A Alexander City at 256-289-7955 for catering, or order on the Chick-fil-A app. Make sure to choose the Alexander City location and have your catering order ready to go. Nugget trays, mac and cheese trays, fruit trays, cookie trays, gallons of our famous lemonade or tea, and chilled grilled chicken sub sandwiches, and a lot more options. Make it Chick-fil-A Alexander City for your next event. Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. I guess you've got to be named Keyshawn to be part of Auburn's basketball team. Coming up, Auburn just lands Keyshawn Murphy from Mississippi State in the transfer portal. Keyshawn Hall, a few weeks ago from Central Florida, was listed as the #1 power forward in the transfer portal. So here we go again. I mean, Auburn putting together, if Todd Pettiford comes back, you add Caden Magwood to the list. You're starting to knife together again a really, really competitive team that's going to give Auburn a chance to make a run again.
He's going to do it. I've got total confidence that as rabid a fan base as we are with the past 10 years that we've got to sell to somebody, that this Auburn program is going to get what they need. And Bruce Pearl's the best at it. But I don't want to hear any Auburn fans saying they are disgusted by the transfer portal. I've said it on here a number of times. If you're an Auburn basketball fan, now you can be disgusted, but by no means don't act like we don't take advantage of it. because
No, I think in
Bruce
basketball,
Pearl
it
has
is.
done an amazing job and of evaluating talent.
Right.
That he knows he can get the most out of. And look at this roster this year, and look how much they improved. The development under this coaching staff for Auburn is, I think, part of the sales job that makes it so easy to go out there and get guys.
Well, I mean, if you look at the track record of who Auburn's had inside, if you're Keyshawn Murphy, why would you not want to come to Auburn right now?
Yeah.
You know, Janai Broome just narrowly missed Player of the Year. Then you look at Walker Kessler, and you look at what Dylan Cardwell did over 4 years. I mean, you are getting – it's no different than when we talk about in football. Why do certain guys flock to a certain program? It's because they have a train to the NFL. Well, we're starting to put a train into the NBA in certain positions. And when you had a guy that was up for National Player of the Year all year, and it was a battle between, you know, him and one other person, it raises the eyebrows of somebody like Keyshawn Murphy. And they go, man, I'm from Alabama. I came to Mississippi State. I'm a pretty good player. I think I can go over there and be a better player. And I think I can go over there and can compete for a national championship, because Auburn has been to 2 Final Fours since 2019, and that won't be the last one they go to. I'm not going out on a limb there. I think we all agree that, you know, I don't know when it'll be. Could be next year. This team could put it all together and they could make a run. Like, I broke this tournament down this year, and we got from a mindset of an Auburn fan going, can we just get in the tournament? Like, that was a win. Yeah. Can we just get in the tournament? And it didn't make a rip if we won or not. Hey, we made the tournament. We didn't get relegated to the NIT. All right, but when you actually do have a competitive program, I thought Bruce Pearl's analysis of that made perfect sense. Depending on where you're seated, if you're a high seed, if you're a 1, 2, or 3 seed, you just want to survive the first weekend. Mm-hmm. You're going to get somebody's best shot, and somebody's going to be unconscious, like the kid from Oakland that year. He's going to shoot 1,800 threes, and there ain't nothing you can do about it. All right? You just got to get past that. Then you get to the second weekend, you're in the Sweet 16, the Elite 8. Now you can see that there's a possibility you can get to a championship. You're going to play 2 really good teams. You know that, but you're probably pretty good too, because you're a high-ranked team. So you get through that, then you win 2 more games, you're in the Final Four. I'm not trying to diminish, it's hard to get there. But I'm just saying, if you're a high-ranked team that knows how to win and compete, it looks a lot different than somebody that just barely gets in the tournament and hopes to win a game or maybe have an upset.
Well, I think that's what you're selling. You're selling everything that you just said. And once you've proven that you can do it. Now, we haven't proven that we can get over the hump and win a national title, but the SEC just proved it this year. And I said it on this show a number of times, and you said it once the game came around. It was very tough for you to cheer for Florida. Well, but now that we're a couple of weeks removed from it, now we're going to say all year, the SEC, 14 teams in the tournament, 7 in the Sweet 16, 2 in the Final Four. Unfortunately, both of them had to play each other, or we may have played each other for the national championship. We'd have been on opposite sides of the bracket. But we did play each other. But we got 2 of the 4 there and the national champion. I mean, who's to argue that that's not the greatest
you can't argue.
Conference season that anybody's ever put together in college basketball? I mean, I'd have to see the one that matches up to it. But if you took away that national title at the end of it, then you could say, well, but you still didn't win a national title, and it's been a long time since you have.
Haven't we been eliminated by the eventual national champion every time we've had a decent run? Louisville, Indiana, Syracuse, Virginia, and now Florida.
Yeah.
Every time. It didn't matter if it was Elite 8 or Final Four or
Ohio State. The Ohio State lost.
Well, Ohio State didn't, but they made the Final Four. Mm-hmm. But they beat us in the Sweet 16. But for the most part, almost every time we've had a good team, made a deep run, we've run into the team that's won the national title. Just got to take that. It's almost like the Justin Rose analysis you gave this morning. You just got to keep putting yourself in that position to get over the hump. You can't get over the hump if you don't go back. So if Auburn's learning, I think, and again, we're still in the infancy of basketball greatness. Okay, let's just be honest about it. So to go to 2 Final Fours, yeah, we want to win. Did I want to win a couple Saturdays ago? Absolutely, man. Was I as sick after that loss as I was to Virginia? No, I was not. Because when we lost to Virginia, the way we lost and the way we kind of caught fire, at the end of the season, I thought, well, that was it. That was going to be it. I mean, that was the flash in the pan, and I'll never see that again. And then we got back, and we had the lead against Florida, but Florida was a better team than us at that time, and they fought back and found a way to win. They did it against everybody. For 5 minutes, I was a little mad, but then I was over it, man. I'm like, man, we made the Final Four again, and I'm not trying to have consolation prizes. I want to win the daggum thing, but we got beat by a little bit better team. We're going to get back there, and we're going to be the better team. We're going to be fully healthy, and we're going to get to the national championship game next time, and we're going to win it. So I think that's the mentality you got to have.
It takes supreme salesmanship to go out there and win in this transfer portal, and we got the best salesman.
I guess that's why I think I have so much hope.
It's Bruce
It's
Pearl.
because you can go out and replace.
It's Bruce Pearl.
Yeah, but you
now,
can go
he's
out,
got the pieces around
but
him,
you
and
can
he's
go
got
replace,
a rabid fan base.
right?
But you know where your confidence is.
Oh, it's
we got the best head coach in our program's history, up and down, no matter the sport right now, and just sit back and enjoy it. That's all I can say.
Right. Again, I don't know if I mentioned Emeka Oporium in on a visit from Butler Community College, 7-foot guy, would be the replacement piece probably for Dylan Cardwell. Keyshawn Murphy probably the replacement piece for Janai Broome. But you get that guy who was the defensive player of the year in JUCO. Here we go.
Length. Need multiple 7-footers to be able to compete in college basketball.
That guy for Florida, 7'9".
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah.
7'9". I mean, did you see him cut the net down and never got on the ladder? They just handed him the scissors. I said, man, that is unbelievable. All right, up against another break. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
This is Joseph Dean with Frederick Dean Funeral Home and Crematory. I am pleased to announce that Lake Martin Funeral Home and Cremation is now open to serve the public at our location on the corner of 49 North and 280 West in Dadeville. Please stop by and see lifelong resident of Dadeville, Molly Kaler, who will be running the office and meeting with families who want to plan ahead and pre-need their services. We are also available by phone, 256-750-0381, or online at lakemartinfuneralhome.com.
Bucks Island is your boating headquarters. Are you ready to hit the water and go boating this summer? Bucks Island has all kinds of boats with one sure to fit exactly what you want. Fishing boats, sport boats, pontoon boats, and all with low monthly payments. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Bucks Island Service Department experts are also here for you to keep your boat in top running condition. Call 1-800-I'm-READY. Don't be left standing on the bank this summer. Visit online at bucksisland.com and don't buy a boat till you get a Bucks quote.
Looking to transform your outdoor space? Look no further than Bama Sheds. As a family-owned and operated business, we understand your needs. That's why we offer no credit check, rent-to-own options. Enjoy free delivery and setup within 35 miles of our 4 convenient locations. Whether you need a shed, pole barn, garage, or carport, we've got you covered. Visit our website at bamasheds.com or call 256-268-8484. Bama Sheds, where quality meets affordability and your outdoor dreams become reality.
What's the verdict?
Can't fix your heat pump. Need a new one.
Uh-oh. What are you thinking?
I'm thinking Daikin.
Call on Kevin Kill in Sunshine Heating and Air at 256-825-4849, Central Alabama's premier Daikin dealer.
So what's he thinking?
Oh, he's thinking Daikin.
Daikin, one of the top selling in the world.
Now I'm thinking Daikin.
Daikin. Comfort for life. EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area. Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allagames.com.
When you want quality, selection, price, superior financing, and a pain-free buying experience, look no further than Sons Automotive Group of Montgomery and Auburn. Sons of Montgomery offers the best selection of Kias, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Ram trucks. Conveniently located on Eastern Boulevard, Sons Ford of Auburn is the region's Ford volume dealer. And when you shop at any Sons location, they will maximize all incentives and financing options for anyone's credit. Whether Kia, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, or Ram in Montgomery, or Ford in Auburn, Sons Automotive treats you like family because they are family driven.
Welcome back, everyone, to the Auburn Blitz. Couple segments left in today's show means it's time for Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine, and you can't say enough about Pepper Tree Steaks and Wine. Their food is unbelievable. Their wine selection is unbelievable. They got two great locations, one on East Glen in Auburn and one in Pepper Tree in Montgomery. Easter specials, you need to call them. You need to go ahead and get this taken care of. You know you're going to have people over for Easter dinner, Easter lunch. They got the beef tenderloin and the pork tenderloin with mashed potatoes, fresh green beans, salad, and rolls. And they can feed up from 4 to 8 people. And then they got the spiral ham, the Boston butt, that can feed 10 to 12 people. That also includes 2 sides and rolls. So, I mean, for the prices, I mean, if it's just a family of 4, you can get pork tenderloin and all the sides for $75. I mean, come on, man. Like, you can't go to Arby's and feed 4 people. Like, if you go to Arby's and tell people in the car, all right, you just get what you want, and go look the bill on that, probably going to run you 50-ish. 55-ish. If everybody just says, all right, I'm going to get what I want, maybe give me some cheese sticks, and I'm going to get me a beef and cheddar combo or whatever, or the big fish or whatever it is that you order at Arby's. If you go to Arby's, you're going to run a bill up about $50, $60 for 4 people. You can get all of the quality food at Pepper Tree for $75 if you're going after the pork tenderloin. So, I mean, I don't know how you go wrong with that.
Great food, great service, and 2 great locations too, Brett.
Right.
Boom towns, especially there in Auburn. That new location in Auburn, every time I pass it, it's packed.
Always, man, because they got great stuff in there. So go check them out, Pepper Tree in Montgomery and in Auburn. All right, I was at A-Day on Saturday. It's a beautiful day. I thought, me and Jason Caldwell thought between 15,000 20,000 people showed up, which was great. I mean, the environment was really good. Loved the setup. I know maybe the fans would have loved us seeing a simulated game, but I think the fans enjoyed it too, and it was kind of back to old school where you come back on the field, you stand in line, get you some autographs, some pictures with your players and stuff. I just thought it was really, really, really good all the way around. And I got a chance to walk around, to each position group and get some video footage and watch some of the drills like we do in normal practice. And then they kind of got together and ran a couple skeleton drill periods, and then at the end they had the red zone lockout where he got intense and they went one-on-one with defense and offense and really got after it. But some of my takeaways, I kind of told you guys this throughout the week in this weekend. Deuce Knight obviously got a majority of the snaps because of Jackson Arnold nursing a little bit of a hamstring, and Faith and I were there when that happened. We just chose not to report it. And, again, you can't you can, I guess, and maybe some guys did, but, you know, I saw him pull up and he kind of went down. I'm like, you know, I'm not going to make this the headline of what we talk about today. But he ended up being okay, but precautionary reasons kept him out. But guess what? Deuce got all the snaps pretty much. And, yeah, I mean, Anquan Fagan's just made a great play. All right, so I'm just going to tell everybody.
And, hey, he is that guy.
He's unbelievable, man.
Yeah,
like, he's the guy out of spring ball to me that I've probably talked about the most. And he makes play after play, and he's so far ahead advancement-wise in his football IQ and knowing where to be.
Hey, let me jump in real quick because I was talking to a friend of mine again at a basketball gym last night, same one that we talked about this morning. Tori, thank you, by the way. It was a good talk. But he was talking about Fagans, too, last night. And, you know, we were talking about high school football. So in high school football, I don't care if you're at Thompson, if you're at Hoover, wherever you are, there are certain individuals that when you end up in 3 or 4 of the games, you got to find a way for them to play both ways. Now, it doesn't have to be every play, but they're too good to keep off of the field. And we've talked about this till you and I are blue in the face. But he was mentioning Anquan Fagan's the one he brought up. He said, you go watch Thompson. Of course, he's going to be an all-SEC, All-American at Auburn at safety. But you got to figure out how to get him the football on offense, too, if you really are trying to win some of these games. And, you know, during the regular season last year when Thompson was trying to find their sea legs offensively, he made a lot of those plays on the offensive end. So, Brett, he's a ball hawk. There's some safeties like Ed Reed, who's my favorite safety of all time, that it's not Troy Polamalu. I mean, keep going down the list. There's certain safeties that, yeah, they're able to come up and run support, but they just find a loose ball and they pick it up and run it for a touchdown. Or they intercept the pass where did the safety come from?
Finds the ball, man.
Fagans is that, isn't he?
He is. I mean, and again, now, and Deuce said it in our interview. He sat down and we all were able to ask questions. And, you know, I think one of the guys asked him, you know, what was different, maybe threw a couple interceptions that we hadn't seen in practice. He said, what was different about it? He said speed. He said speed of the game. He said, I was a little apprehensive on a couple throws. I probably should have let go. But he said, I'm going to get that out of my system now and not have to worry about it during the season. But, again, he hesitated just a slight bit. And Anquan Fagan's had already broke. And I thought to myself, man, it's bad news right here for him. And he did pick the pass off. He just made a good play. And, again, when you have quality that you're going up against in practice, just makes you better. Because everybody's not going to have an Anquan Fagan's that's going to be able to make that play. So you learn from it. It helps your timing and all that kind of stuff. But I'll come back and we'll talk some more about A-Day on Saturday. Stay tuned. More to come right after this.
J.A. Smith Construction, licensed general contractor and your trusted choice for land clearing and grading, site work, underground utilities, concrete paving, and material hauling. They also do storm drain installations, fish ponds, and slough dredging. Call Alexander at 256-896-1400 or email asmith@jasmithconstruct.com. No job is too big or too small for J.A. Smith Construction, the top choice for all of your land service needs.
For air that's cool and clean, call Sensi Green. For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Turn to the experts at Sensigreen and find out how to get up to $1,000 in carrier cool cash rebates. Visit sensigreen.com today to be worry-free when it comes to your home comfort and indoor air quality.
For air that's cool and clean, care about the air you breathe, call Sensi Green.
Sign Source is your local vendor for commercial and residential sign manufacturing and installation. We offer all kinds of lighted and non-lighted signage, from retail signs, LED message centers, event banners, vehicle wraps, the whole spectrum. We also offer service and repair on existing signs, as well as retrofitting to LED or installation of outsourced signage. We have the knowledge necessary to fulfill all of your signage needs in the short or long term. Visit signsourcenow.com to get started.
EnviroCare is the standard in East Central Alabama for all your pest control and termite needs. EnviroCare exclusively offers Centricon termite colony elimination system that is the industry's most effective termite control to protect your home year-round. The EnviroCare team's service is also the standard for our customers. From eliminating home pests to superior termite control, nobody cares like EnviroCare, serving Lake Martin and East Central Alabama. Folks around these parts have known for a long time that Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280, is your #1 stop for automotive service and repair. At Walls Tire, you'll always find quality service at a fair price on everything from AC, name brand tires, big or small repairs, routine maintenance, towing, and more. When your car or truck needs to run right, there's one place in the area to go, conveniently located and easy to find. Walls Tire, just a mile past the bridge on Highway 280.
Grain and Leaf, located at 6068 Highway 63 South, is Lake Martin's premier boutique-style bottle shop with a unique array of sophistication for everyone. Appropriately named for its exclusive selection of top spirits, wine, and craft beer, Grain and Leaf also has a number of fine cigars for you to choose from. They also carry the full line of Hornsby Farms assorted jellies and pottery. Open 10 to 7 Monday through Saturday and noon to 5 on Sundays, Grain and Leaf is your premier shop in the Lake Martin area.
Passion, the obsession that burns within. Determination, the burning desire to make it. Drive, the motivation to be the absolute best. Skills, the tools to perform at the highest level. Excellence, the feeling of achievement. At Central Alabama Community College, you can release your passion, show your determination, display your drive, and showcase your skills to achieve excellence. Central Alabama Community College, central to you, central to your success.
Are you ready to showcase your skills and compete with the best in Alabama? The 42nd Alabama State Games are coming to Birmingham and Jefferson County from June 13th through the 15th, and it's your chance to be part of something incredible. Athletes from across the state will compete in sports ranging from archery to wrestling. Those participating in the opening ceremony are eligible for academic scholarships ranging from $500 to $5,000. Mark your calendar. Registration opens March 1st. Visit allagames.com. All right, welcome back, everyone. Final segment here on the Auburn Blitz. Again, I want to thank everybody for joining us each and every day here at lunch, and remind everybody our podcast every morning at 8 o'clock. Tune us in. You don't have to tune in live, but go out there and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Over 3,600 subscribers now, fastly approaching 4,000. And, I'm excited for where we are with that and how fast we've grown. It's all because of you guys spreading the word and getting that information out there. And I know our sponsors appreciate that as well. And we can't thank Russell Do-It Center and Building Supply Stores, J. Smith Construction and Excavation, and Sense of Green enough for being our partners here on the TV side of things every day at lunch. Wrapping up a little bit of the A-Day talk, talked about Deuce Knight. Offensive line didn't have Xavier Miller and Connor Lew, which are going to be really good offensive linemen for Auburn this year. But looking over and seeing what we have across the front, Jeremiah Wright, who won Lineman of the Year last year, by the way, in the little pregame awards. I mean, Jeremiah Wright played good football last year. He's back. Randy, I really like Mason Murphy at right tackle, the transfer from USC. I think he's going to have a legit shot there. Dylan Wade is back. I think both of us like Dylan Wade. And then you got Xavier Chaplin or Xavier Miller over there on the left side. And Chaplin looks the part. I think I sent y'all a picture of him. I was standing behind him, and he is a gargantuan human being. We talked about it on the podcast yesterday. Me and Jason and Faith kind of went back, and you and I have already done this. If you want to know why Auburn hasn't performed up to par in the SEC, it's because you have to go back to Sean Coleman or Jack Driscoll getting drafted in the 3rd, 4th, or 5th round, and then Braden Smith being the highest-ranked offensive lineman we've had drafted in God knows when. It's amazing we've been able to do what we've been able to do because most really elite programs are putting 1 or 2 out in the draft every year.
Well, it's the disappointing part when you think back to some of these great running backs that Auburn's had. And we have still been able to go out there and sell this program to Tank Bigsby types and Jarquez Hunter types, even though you don't have the pieces in front of them. Hey, Bo Nix, the Bo Nix types that just don't have the pieces in front of them to spotlight the talent that they possess. And it's been unfortunate. But with that being said, I do get the feel that we're getting in a much better spot. You know I've loved Jeremiah Wright since the first time I saw him.
We saw him in high school.
Saw him at Selma High School.
He ate us up.
Great size. Kind of collapsed an entire side of the defensive front, if you remember that night. But Jeremiah Wright.
There's a lot I remember about that night.
Yeah, I remember.
I try to forget it, to be honest with you. But anyway.
But I like his demeanor on the football field. And I just have this feel that if he stays healthy, there is a great season out there for him. Do you agree? I think his ceiling from a demeanor and just got kind of down and dirty way that he plays from time to time, that if all the other pieces around him are good to well above average, that I think his ceiling's through the roof and he could be a big-time NFL type of prospect. Just to see the highlight film from him over the last 2 or 3 years, all a health deal with him a lot of times, though, is
right. He's bounced back and forth, defense, offense.
Yeah, sure.
Tried to be a true team player. But I'm gonna go back to that night in Selma. You know what the best part of that night was? And it went downhill pretty quick. It's that place we ate right before the game. I don't know what place it was. We stopped and ate a barbecue place. It was good.
Yeah.
That was the highlight of the night. Because when we got in the car and drove to the stadium, all that went to you know what. And, again, it was just one of those deals where we went down there and we were the better team. But, and Jeremiah Wright, I thought, played a really good game. Did he get banged up in that game?
He did.
That's what I thought.
Always an injury.
Right. He got banged up in that game. And nightmarish trip for us down there. And so, the barbecue was by far the best part. But we knew, again, that he would be he had his Auburn gloves on that night. I remember that. And, we were excited. That was the one positive. I was like, well, if we got our brains beat in, at least that guy's coming to our team. So that was one of the positives that I took away from it. But, I thought that was an appropriate award for him Saturday. He's a hard worker, man. And he does what you talk about with linemen a lot, and he plays after right up until the whistle, a little bit beyond. He's got that about him. He's got that moxie about him. So, when you look across the front line, and Jason said it Monday, he said, we ain't been in a position where we're inside the 5-yard line. We go get a yard or two. We just go, all right, let's just go get out there and go get it. He said we hadn't been in that position in
2013.
It's been a long time.
Maybe
17, maybe 17.
Yeah. Carry-on had a year that year where you could, but I didn't feel like
player
he was
of the year in SEC.
Yeah, but did you think of him as a great short yardage runner? Like Trey Mason was? He
was a very tough dude.
He was. Trey Mason, though, and
Trey Mason,
but if you handed Trey Mason the football, now could he break it out yet? Do you remember how often he got tackled behind the line of scrimmage that year? I wish I knew the stat on that. It couldn't have been too many at all.
He had a full head of steam most of the time he was hitting.
And he was just darting and bouncing around, and he's going to have a poor run's going to be 3 or 4 yards. When you got a running back and you got an offensive line that's not allowing defensive front to get back in the backfield often, which is what we had that year. It's been the missing piece. So I thought your question to Coach Freeze during y'all's little semi-press conference out there on the field last week was the proper question, Brett. It's the one that I have. It's my biggest question. That and do we have a top-notch quarterback on campus?
Right.
I think the answer to that, though, for me is yes. But do we have a competitive, and when I mean competitive, do we have an Alabama and Georgia caliber offensive line being built right now?
This has a chance to be.
And if the answer is not yes, then I still think that there's going to be 2 or 3 matchups a year where the line of scrimmage is going to cause you to not be able to win football games that you could otherwise. And until the answer is, but I feel like we're getting closer to that answer being yes.
Right. Chaplin and Miller at left tackle, Wade and Carter at left guard, Lou and Joyner at center, Wright and Wilfred at right guard, and Mason Murphy and Tank Johnson over on the right side.
Well, the good thing about Joyner, too, is he's versatile. He can play either of those guard positions.
He can.
And did last year.
He did. So building some depth, that's what you want. All right, that's going to wrap it up for the Auburn Blitz here on this Tuesday. We'll be back with you same time, same place tomorrow. And don't forget the podcast at 8 o'clock every single day. For Andy, I'm Brett saying we've enjoyed it. We'll be able to see you next time.